Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. We are at a new yard for us, which I set up just 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago now. It's in Monroe at a seed farm, and we're set up next to a client of mine who's got some bees from last year. They've started off with a hive last year, acquired another hive over the winter, and then have had a couple of swarms and started up theirs. And I have since added 12 hives here, and we're going to see how they're going. So today what we're going to do is go through them. They were introduced as nukes 2 weeks ago. They needed, actually, they were sort of double nukes. They were nukes with not double nukes, but 2-story nukes. So they're effectively almost already 10 frames. We added another deep onto them right away. And so now we're at a stage where hopefully the majority of them have brood. 4 or 5 frames of brood upstairs. And we're going to shake the queen downstairs and turn them into single brood chamber colonies. So Tracy's going to give me a hand with that today. Okay. Say hello.
Hi.
And what we're going to do is the hives look good, relatively early still. The bees aren't too active, but they should be getting onto clover now. If we can get closer, because the sound gets terrible otherwise. We'll see how much they have grown. This on here is our tabletop, and this looks quite nice. They're occupying each upper brood chamber had 2 frames of foundation, a frame with some resources on, same from this side, and 4 frames of drawn comb, some with a bit of resources, some not. And so we're hoping now that this is getting to the stage. This is on the low end of what I was hoping for. I was hoping to see a bit more comb being drawn. I don't see much. There's a little bit being drawn here, but we'll have a look. Nothing being drawn here yet. We're going to look for the queen, and because there's new space here, we should, in fact, what I'm going to do, is move it over here. Now, if you leave that there, Tracy, and move this over here, and once we find the queen, we're going to put her in here. And if I can grab that box from behind you, what we're going to do is this will act like a funnel. So if I can't find the queen on the frames here, I'll just shake the bees straight down into here. As soon as we find the queen, the job is done. So they're certainly filling it up with honey. That's hopefully nothing in those little queen cups. So that'll go here. This is probably some resources I put in. Okay, the queen has been up here. It's full of young brood, everything from eggs to 5-day-old larvae here. And some capped brood here. See, we're shaking out nectar, and for this time of day that's a good sign. It means there's a nectar flow on. Second frame brood. Shake. See how wet it is down there, all the stuff, all the liquid that we're shaking out here. Considering it's only about 10 in the morning, got a good flow of nectar in there. Again, Nice load of brood. Queen got straight up here, and you're saying this was only put up 14 days ago. Plenty of 9-day-old brood. 9-day or more. This frame's full of resources. Bit of drone brood. And see the queen. We know the queen will be down below once we've shaken all the bees out of these frames. See some bees on the sides of the boxes here as well, so we'll just give them a bit of a bang. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put a queen excluder on. Ew. So now we know the queen is confined down here. We're going to put all this back up here, and the brood will become just basically this brood chamber will become a honey super. What we know is that this brood will emerge over the next 3 weeks. Well, 24 days include the drone brood, and that will provide space for the bees to, when they're bringing nectar in, instead of just dropping it in the brood chamber, they can put it directly above the brood chamber as well, and they will get these combs drawn out pretty quickly. Now right now we probably don't need another super on here, but we're going to probably end up putting one honey super up here because it may be that I won't be here next week. And so just to make sure there's plenty of room, I'm going to be going on vacation at the end of next week. So to be on the safe side, I'm going to put a honey super on here right now. Done in some other hives. I'll set some of them up for comb honey, like this one. So on these ones I've got drawn honey frames and some with a strip of foundation in there in order to get some comb honey or cut comb honey that I'm going to get from those frames. This drawn comb will get the bees up here storing and these empty combs, and they'll get busy building these combs shortly. So this colony is done, and we'll move on to our next one. Okay, let's have a look at this one over here. Not as well advanced as the first one, still reasonably advanced, but we're going to do the same sort of thing here. We'll need that super. In fact, I can see they've still got a bit of undrawn comb down here. So what I'm going to do is take some of the foundation out of here. I'm going to move one of my frames of brood downstairs, just so everything is more or less completed down here. queen cup. Nothing going on there. Eggs on that side too. This is going down here. Now we'll shake the rest downstairs. We don't see the queen. Bit of honey. Some eggs. The reason I'm looking is this, if it's quicker. If you find the queen, make sure she's down below and then you don't have to shake off any more bees. Honey, a few eggs at the bottom. Sorry. Excluder on. Now this hive definitely does not need a honey super on, so I'm not going to put a honey super on here. We've got a lot of comb to draw out still. So I'm going to stagger them a little bit. I'll put them on the outside edge, just keep the brood nest all together. So we've still got 6 frames that need drawing out here, so we don't need to put any honey super on this one. Thank you. We're good to go. On to the next one. We'll do one more before I get Tracy giving me a hand. Same as the first and second. These are nice and calm. We know the brood chamber here has got about 6 or 7 frames of brood in there, and we're gonna have 2 or 3 up here. Now they're drawing the comb out, which is good. Lots of fresh nectar. And more fresh nectar. This area is very diverse, lots of clover, lots of sweet clover on the roadsides, farm plants, buckwheat as a cover crop. So I anticipate that there's going to be quite a bit of honey produced over the next few weeks. So going from a single brood chamber, from double brood chamber management to single, usually gives you a much better honey crop, and it's just as the honey flow is really getting going now. These are queen cups, nothing to worry about. Nicely drawn out frame, but it's all filling with honey. Not that I'd be able to see the eggs on the white foundation anyway. Yeah, filling up with honey. This one's got less brood upstairs and more honey upstairs. This must have made better use of the brood chamber downstairs. But here's some brood. Here's some eggs and 5-day-old larvae. Mostly honey on this side. Again, honey, 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 and pollen. And a bit of brood on this side, in the middle. More comb certainly being built upstairs. Right up to the outer edge here. We've got some bees on the side walls. Got a bit of a bang. There they're in. So, queen excluder. This one's pretty close to wanting a honey super on it. It's somewhere in between these two. We may come back and put a honey super on, but I think there's still plenty of room here. So they can certainly get by for a week without. Okay, so these hives are coming along nicely. Not as hugely advanced. If we find a really advanced one, we'll have a quick video of that. But for now, we're just going to get these ready before it gets too hot. We might do find a queen, do some mite checks, and then we'll have a look at this electric fence and get that done too. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.